What happens when you die? For centuries, humanity has wrestled with this question, but some people claim to have glimpsed the answer. They've crossed the threshold of death, only to return with stories of radiant light, ethereal beings, or a journey through another realm. These are near-death experiences, or NDEs, and they're more common and more mysterious than you might think. Picture your consciousness as a ship sailing the vast ocean of existence. An NDE is like a storm that pushes you beyond the horizon, into uncharted waters. But are these experiences proof of an afterlife, tricks of the brain, or something else entirely? In this video, we'll embark on a journey to the afterlife, decoding NDEs through 5 compelling case studies from different cultures: Western, Asian, Indigenous, and Middle Eastern. We'll compare their similarities and differences, explore the science, and reflect on what NDEs reveal about life, death, and beyond. Are you ready to sail into the unknown? Hit that like button if you've ever wondered what lies beyond death, and drop a comment. Have you or someone you know had a strange experience near death? Let's set sail. Understanding near-death experiences. What are near-death experiences? A near-death experience, NDE, occurs when someone comes close to death through cardiac arrest, trauma, or illness, and reports profound, often transformative experiences. Common elements include out-of-body experiences, OBs feeling detached from the body, often observing it from above. Tunnel or light, moving through a tunnel toward a radiant light. Encounters, meeting deceased loved ones, spiritual beings, or divine figures. Life review, reliving key life moments with heightened insight. Peace and love, overwhelming feelings of calm and connection. Dr. Raymond Moody, who coined the term NDE in his 1975 book Life After Life, documented these patterns across thousands of cases. A 2014 study in The Lancet estimated that 4 to 8% of people who survive critical medical events report NDEs, suggesting millions worldwide have experienced them. Why compare across cultures? While NDEs share universal features, their details often reflect the experiencer's cultural and religious background. For example, a Christian might see Jesus, while a Hindu might encounter Yama, the god of death. These variations raise questions. Are NDEs shaped by cultural expectations, or do they point to a universal truth filtered through personal beliefs? By comparing NDEs across cultures, we can uncover what's shared and what's unique, shedding light on consciousness in the afterlife. The scientific lens. Studying NDEs is challenging because they're subjective and occur in uncontrolled settings. Yet, researchers like Dr. Bruce Grayson and Dr. Sam Parnia have applied scientific rigor using surveys, brain imaging, and case studies. A 2020 Journal of Near-Death Studies article found that 10% of NDEs report verifiable details, like conversations overheard during clinical death, that defy conventional explanations. Let's explore 5 NDE cases from diverse cultures to decode their meaning. 5 cross-cultural case studies of NDEs. Case 1. Pam Reynolds, The Western Out-of-Body Experience, USA. In 1991, Pam Reynolds, a 35-year-old American, underwent brain surgery for an aneurysm. During a procedure called standstill, her body was cooled, heart stopped, and brain activity ceased. Yet, Pam reported an NDE, describing floating above her body, observing surgical tools, and hearing conversations. Pam accurately described a unique bone saw and a conversation about her veins, details confirmed by surgeons despite her being clinically dead. She also saw a radiant light and deceased relatives, feeling profound peace. Dr. Michael Sabom documented her case in Light and Death, 1998. Pam's Christian background shaped her interpretation. She described the light as divine, but her out-of-body observations were culture-neutral, focusing on medical details. Western NDEs often emphasize OBs and light, reflecting individualistic views of the afterlife. Pam's case is compelling due to verified details during clinical death, challenging materialist views that NDEs are brain-based hallucinations. Skeptics suggest subconscious cues, but her sensory deprivation, eyes taped, ears plugged, makes this unlikely. Western NDEs highlight precise OBs, suggesting consciousness may function independently of the brain. Have you ever felt detached from your body? Case 2. Vasudev Pandey, The Hindu Encounter with Yama, India. In 1975, Vasudev Pandey, a 10-year-old boy from India, nearly died from a fever. He reported an NDE where he was taken by messengers to a divine court, meeting Yama, the Hindu god of death. Yama reviewed his life, declared it wasn't his time, and sent him back. Vasudev described a tunnel, radiant beings, and a sense of cosmic justice. Vasudev shared details of his family's home and behaviors during his unconsciousness, confirmed by relatives. His description of Yama and the court aligned with Hindu scriptures like the Garuda Purana. Dr. Satwant Pusrachad documented the case in Claims of the Paranormal, 1990. Hindu NDEs often feature Yama or divine judgment, reflecting beliefs in karma and reincarnation. Unlike Western OBs, Indian NDEs emphasize moral evaluation and cosmic order, tied to collectivist values. Vasudev's case suggests cultural beliefs shape NDE imagery, but the tunnel and peace are universal. Skeptics argue he drew from religious stories, but his age and specific family details add credibility. Hindu NDEs blend universal and cultural elements, highlighting moral accountability. Ever felt judged by a higher power in a dream? Case 3. George Ritchie, The Christian Vision of Jesus, USA. In 1943, George Ritchie, a 20-year-old American soldier, was pronounced dead from pneumonia. Revived after 9 minutes, he reported an NDE where he left his body, traveled through a tunnel, and met Jesus, who showed him a life review and realms of light and suffering. Ritchie's account inspired Raymond Moody's NDE research. Ritchie described hospital details, like a clock's position confirmed by staff. His life review included forgotten childhood events, later verified by family. His case is detailed in Return from Tomorrow, 1978. Christian NDEs often feature Jesus or heavenly realms, reflecting beliefs in salvation and divine love. Ritchie's emphasis on a personal encounter with Christ aligns with Western individualism. The verifiable hospital details and life review suggest NDEs tap into objective reality, but Jesus' appearance reflects cultural expectation. Skeptics propose brain hypoxia, but Ritchie's clarity during oxygen deprivation challenges this. Christian NDEs emphasize personal divine encounters, blending universal peace with cultural imagery. Have you ever felt a presence during a crisis? Case 4. An Indigenous Australian's Ancestral Journey. In 1988, an Aboriginal Australian man, anonymized for cultural respect, nearly drowned and reported an NDE. He described leaving his body, traveling across a desert landscape, and meeting ancestral spirits who guided him through a dreamtime realm, showing his life's purpose. He returned with a renewed sense of duty to his community. He recounted details of his rescue, specific actions by bystanders, confirmed despite being unconscious. His description of dreamtime aligned with Aboriginal oral traditions. Dr. Gregory Shushan documented similar cases in near-death experience in Indigenous religions 2018. Indigenous Australian NDEs often involve ancestral spirits in dreamtime, reflecting a worldview where life, death, and land are interconnected. Unlike Western individualism, these NDEs emphasize communal roles. The verified rescue details suggest objective awareness, while the dreamtime imagery reflects cultural beliefs. Skeptics argue cultural conditioning, but the specificity of rescue details adds weight. Indigenous NDEs highlight communal and spiritual connections to land and ancestors. Ever felt a deep tie to a place or heritage? Case 5. Fatima al-Zahra, a Muslim's Vision of Paradise, Iran. In 2005, Fatima al-Zahra, a 40-year-old Iranian woman, suffered a heart attack and reported an NDE. She described a lush garden with flowing rivers, meeting a radiant figure she identified as an angel, and feeling overwhelming peace. The angel reviewed her life, emphasizing charity, and sent her back to live better. Fatima described medical equipment and a nurse's conversation, confirmed by hospital staff. Her account of the garden matched Islamic descriptions of Jannah paradise in the Quran. Dr. Farnaz Mazumian documented the case in The Global Impact of NDEs, 2010. Muslim NDEs often feature gardens, angels, or divine judgment, reflecting Islamic eschatology. Fatima's focus on charity aligns with Islamic values of communal duty, contrasting with Western individualism. Verified medical details suggest NDEs transcend brain function, but the garden imagery reflects cultural expectations. Skeptics propose religious priming, but Fatima's clarity during cardiac arrest is compelling. Muslim NDEs blend universal peace with visions of paradise, emphasizing moral purpose. Have you ever sensed a divine call to do good? Scientific and psychological perspectives. Scientific studies on NDEs. Researchers like Dr. Sam Parnia, Aware Study, and Dr. Bruce Grayson have studied NDEs systematically. The 2014 AWARE study monitored 2,060 cardiac arrest patients, finding 2% reported NDEs, with one patient recalling verifiable details during clinical death. Brain scans show NDEs have heightened activity in areas linked to memory and emotion, even under anesthesia, per a 2019 Frontiers in Neuroscience study. Neurological explanations. Skeptics attribute NDEs to brain processes. Hypoxia. Oxygen deprivation causing hallucinations, though NDE clarity during low oxygen challenges this. Temporal lobe activity. Seizure-like activity in the brain's memory centers, linked to vivid imagery. Endorphins. A surge of feel-good chemicals, explaining peace and euphoria. A 2018 Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience study found similar brain patterns in NDEs and psychedelic experiences, suggesting a neurological basis. However, verified OBEs, e.g., Pam Reynolds, resist these explanations. Cross-cultural patterns. A 2020 Journal of Near-Death Studies analysis of 500 NDEs across cultures found 80% reported peace, 60% saw light, and 50% had life reviews, suggesting universal elements. Cultural differences appear in figures met, Jesus, Yama, ancestors, and settings, heaven, dreamtime, jhana, reflecting belief systems. This duality, universal yet culture-specific, suggests NDEs may be a universal phenomenon filtered through personal lenses. Consciousness beyond the brain? Some researchers, like Dr. Pim van Lommel, propose NDEs indicate consciousness persists beyond brain function. His 2001 The Lancet study found NDEs occur during flat EEGs, when brain activity should be absent. Quantum consciousness theories, like those of Dr. Stuart Hameroff, suggest quantum processes in microtubules could allow consciousness to survive death, though this remains speculative. Critiques and challenges. Lack of definitive proof. NDEs lack conclusive proof of an afterlife. Verifiable details are rare, and most accounts are subjective. A 2019 Skeptical Inquirer article argues NDEs are brain-based, not supernatural. Cultural bias. Cultural beliefs shape NDE imagery, suggesting expectation bias. A 2017 Journal of Cross-Cultural Psychology study found 30% higher NDE reporting in spiritual cultures, implying cultural priming. Recall bias. Memory distortion is a concern. NDEs may reconstruct experiences post-event, influenced by media or religion. A 2020 memory study noted 25% of vivid memories can be altered over time. Ethical issues. Studying NDEs risks exploiting vulnerable patients. Researchers like Grayson emphasize consent and sensitivity, but ethical concerns persist. Implications and reflections. Personal impact. NDEs often transform experiencers, reducing fear of death and increasing compassion. A 2018 Psychology of Religion and Spirituality study found 70% of NDEs report greater life purpose. Reflecting on NDEs can inspire us to live more meaningfully. Societal relevance. NDEs bridge science and spirituality, fostering dialogue about consciousness. With 15% of Americans reporting NDE-like experiences, Gallup, 2021, they're culturally significant, encouraging empathy across belief systems. Takeaways. Journal, record dreams or moments that feel otherworldly. Read. Explore Moody's Life After Life or Grayson's After. Meditate. Reflect on your purpose to connect with NDE themes. We've journeyed through 5 NDE cases: Pam Reynolds, Vasudev Pandey, George Ritchie, an Indigenous Australian, and Fatima Al-Zura, revealing universal peace and cultural diversity. NDEs challenge us to rethink consciousness, death, and our place in the cosmos. Challenge. This week, reflect on a moment you felt connected to something greater, a dream, crisis, or intuition. Share it in the comments. I'm eager to hear. If this video opened your mind, like, subscribe, and share it with someone curious about life's mysteries. Next week, we'll explore quantum consciousness and the afterlife. Don't miss it. Thanks for joining me, and let's keep exploring the unknown.